Hello! I wanted to give some of my opinions on this book, The World Without Us, which I read because I had seen that Tetsuba had done a review of it and I thought it sounded interesting, so I read this book. There's a number of things that I thought while reading it. For example, it seemed like something happening is sort of inevitable. Some sort of disaster caused by humans, because it seems like this book brings up quite a lot of things that we have to do as humans just to get by. It seems like every day pumping water out of New York and the subway systems don't flood. It seems like it would be really easy for something to happen there just by someone not getting paid or budget cuts or something. A disaster could just easily occur. There's something on page 103. It says in Turkey, in 2005, a team of international architecture and seismic experts warned the Turkish government that within 30 years the North Anatolian fault that runs just east of the city will slip again. When it does, at least 50,000 apartment buildings will fall. He is still awaiting a response, although he doubts anyone can imagine where to begin to stave off what his expertise deems the inevitable. So within 30 years there could be a disaster in Turkey, and it seems like there's loads of those sorts of examples in the first third of the book, where we have houses and cities and stuff in places that naturally aren't ideal, and so disasters, they're almost inevitable. Or if someone just human error or money or something like that got in the way, then a disaster could occur. It also mentioned that every 500 years the human language in an area has changed dramatically. So there's areas where you might have danger warnings up and stuff, but in thousands of years you won't be able to, the people in those areas might not know that danger warning is a danger warning. But those sorts of things we won't be around for. But the ones like the thing I just mentioned in Turkey, where in 30 years that a slip could occur, that's stuff that is imminent. But that stuff didn't concern me as much as the plastic stuff that it mentioned in the book. Because basically it seems like plastic just never goes away. We've got loads of plastic on the planet. We're using plastic all the time and it just doesn't go away. We don't know how to get rid of plastic, basically. And it mentions that plastic, instead of going away, is basically just getting smaller. So if you had a large piece of plastic, it might break in two, but there'd still be the exact amount of plastic left. It would just be in two pieces. So plastic is breaking apart into smaller and smaller pieces, but this plastic is still there. So it mentions that there's plastic that animals have eaten and died, like turtles have eaten it and birds have eaten it, and if you cut open those birds you'll see like plastic combs and toys and things and plastic bags inside them that have killed them. It says there is no way of knowing if the plastic killed them, although it is a safe bet, because it's blocked their intestines, so it's a safe bet that, you know, these animals have died because of the plastic. But as I say, the plastic doesn't go away, it just breaks up into smaller pieces. So the completely disturbing part is where it says when they get as small as powder, even zooplankton will swallow them. So there's the part where, you know, we've got all this plastic and it's just breaking up, and then even the smallest creatures in our ecosystem are soon going to be eating plastic and then dying because they'll be just full of plastic. And you know, at that point, you know, there isn't an ecosystem, is there? You know, you've got the whole breakdown of everything. Right, on 126 it says every bit of plastic manufactured in the world for the last 50 years or so still remains. It's still somewhere in the environment. So that half-century's total production now surpasses 1 billion tonnes. I'm going to summarise a problem that's in the next few pages as well. They've got all this plastic and it's not going anywhere, it's just staying, it's being broken up into smaller pieces and animals are eating it and it's terrible. But even if the environment did manage to break down plastic, then that wouldn't be good for us. Because we use plastic to cover things that we don't want bacteria to get into. I don't know if this... It's hard to tell what we can do about the plastic problem. I mean, I was walking around the supermarket and there's so many things that use plastic, so many. Like, most of the things that were in our shopping, I was thinking, these don't need plastic. You know, you could have wrapped up these things with paper or card or anything like that, and they would be fine. But we don't, we use plastic, and I don't know why. Like, if you buy a bag of nuts, that's going to be in a plastic bag. It's not going to be in a paper bag, and I don't understand why, because a paper bag would do just fine. But we're just using plastic, it seems like, on everything. You know, all food and, you know, it would be really hard to go to a supermarket, buy your shopping, and not get any plastic packaging. It's used all over the place. So then you've got to think, what are we going to do with all the plastic afterwards, because it's not going anywhere. It's, you know, it's still there, we've made the plastic, now we've got to live with the plastic. What are we going to do with the plastic? So I think as a human race we've certainly got to use less plastic to start off with, but we've already got 1 billion tonnes of plastic, so we've still got to think about what we're going to do with the 1 billion tonnes of plastic we already have. Even if we stop using plastic today, we've already got 1 billion tonnes of it. So there we go. We've ruined the planet. I don't know. I suppose we could consider burying it or burning it or throwing it into space or something. But still, it's a huge major problem, the plastic. It's a major problem. I don't know, it seems like not much is being done about it. We'll see.